What's up, Amazon sellers? If you are just starting to sell on Amazon and you're worried about what the common mistakes that beginners make, well, worry no more, because today I'm going to share with you 5 beginner mistakes that sellers have been doing in Amazon arbitrage and the things you can do to avoid it. So stay tuned. Right, if you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Parkinson and I've been selling on Amazon now for 4 years. Now, quite simply, we post videos on this channel about Amazon selling, specifically about online arbitrage every single week. So if you are interested about more content around online arbitrage, make sure you subscribe by hitting that subscribe link down below, and obviously you are going to be notified as well. But hey, what are we going to go through today? Well, first things first, number 1, I'm going to give you an introduction into beginner mistakes. Number 2, I'm going to talk about why is it important to understand about these mistakes. Number 3, I'm going to give you the answers to the 5 beginner mistakes that I've seen Amazon arbitrage sellers doing. And then finally, number 4, what FastTrackFBA users also say about the common mistakes beginners make. But hey, let's get stuck into it now. Now look, first things first, number 1, let's give a bit of an introduction to beginner mistakes. As a seller who has just started selling on Amazon, there are some mistakes you could easily make without even realizing it. And that is why I've created this series of videos, which I'll share with you the common mistakes from different Amazon selling stages: sourcing products, purchasing, shipping, prepping, Amazon selling and restocking items, and the things that you need to know about sidestepping them. But in this video, I'll be giving you an overview of the most common mistakes per stage, so expect that there will be follow-up videos in addition to this that are going to support you. Quick question for you guys: which stage of the Amazon arbitrage business are you struggling with the most? Is it purchasing? Is it sourcing? Is it admin? Is it restocking? Is it, I don't know, maybe like dealing with suppliers? Let me know down in the comments below, and obviously I'll get those videos out to you. Let me know which stage of the Amazon business you are struggling with the most in the comments down below. Now, this leads me nicely on to chapter number 2. Why is this important? Well, look, as I said earlier, and I'm going to say it again, it is unavoidable to make mistakes. But if you start learning from this video, you can lessen the number of mistakes that you're making from those common mistakes that beginners like you and I made when we first start. So it's better to learn from other people's mistakes, i.e. mine, and also it's going to help you avoid it from happening again. This is going to be really helpful. Now, what I will say is stay to the end of this video, because I'll be sharing with you what other FastTrackFBA users said about the common mistakes they have made when selling on Amazon, obviously as a new beginner as well. And that's even more that you can learn from that's going to help you out. Now, this leads me nicely onto chapter number 3, and obviously the reason why you're here, the 5 beginner mistakes of selling on Amazon arbitrage. Now, the first thing I say is the first common mistake is the beginners make under the stage of sourcing is not being able to check that the product you're sourcing is actually selling. So we all use a calculator to know the profit and ROI, but the important thing that some people fail to consider in their learning is how to read keeper charts to know if a product is actually selling by understanding the sales rank. Now, you might be asking why this is important. Well, quite simply, profit and ROI mean nothing if the product doesn't actually sell. So ensuring a product it actually has sales is key to the deal analysis process. Now, I'll be showing you an ASIN which seems like a good deal because of great profit and great ROI, but it isn't actually selling. And so it isn't actually a good deal because obviously it doesn't sell. So let me jump on the computer now and I'll show you an example of that, so what we can see from it, and I'll explain what you'd be looking at as well. So I just jumped in here to a product that I found previously. Now, this is a product where I found you can get it for $9.99 in the US, and obviously in selling it on Amazon, I can sell it for $31.99. $12 profit, I like that, really good. And ROI 120%, my God, that is amazing. You might be thinking, this is an amazing product, I want to be buying it. Well, quite simply, again, why are we here? Because we're looking at making sure that the product actually sells. Profit and ROI mean nothing if it's not selling. And how do we understand if it sells? Well, we can use sales estimators, but generally looking at the actual keeper chart is going to be the most important thing. So let's scroll down, have a look at that now. So I'm just scrolling down here, and what you can see here is this is the keeper chart, and quite simply what we are looking at here is set it to 3 months, and I'm looking at this green line. If I hover over here, the sales rank, you'll see the green line is highlighted. Now, generally speaking, what I'm looking for are drops in that green line, and you can see over this product, over the course of 3 months, I can see one drop around the 17th of July. What does that mean? Well, it's sold at least one, but I can only really see one drop. Now, the more drops generally mean more sales. Not always, but generally speaking, there's a bit of nuance to that. But quite simply, right here, over the course from April 23 up until July the 8th, there's not a single drop in that sales rank, and as a result, I would say it hasn't sold a single unit. So over the last 3 months, this product has sold once. Now, I might be able to make my nice $12 profit, but to make one sale per 3 months just isn't enough volume for me to make it worthwhile. So checking that line is going to be really, really super important. Now, another thing which I'll just also share with you is that you can use things like tools, like whether it be SAS or whether it be another tool which we use, FBA Multi-Tool, and I'll jump onto another example to do sales estimations. But you should always be checking that sales estimation with the graph to make sure it looks about the same. Cool, so this product here is one that I found previously as well. Now, FBA Multi-Tool is saying it's doing 809 to 940 sales per month. Fantastic. Let's jump over to have a look at what SAS is saying. And if we scroll down to the same product, what are we going to see here? Well, it's saying 288. And if I scroll down to look at the keeper chart, what are we going to see there? Is to say, and if it's on 3 months, if I zoom it into the 1 month period, I can see probably like, I don't know, I'm looking at the drops and I can kind of come down to here, and this is saying 24. Now, quite simply, it could mean 24, it could mean more, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to understand what are they all saying and get a feel. And quite simply, you can see that the FBA Multi-Tool is saying over 800, SAS is saying about 288, and Keeper is going a lot lower, around 24. And there is a bit more nuance to it, but generally that is a very, very big range. So what I would say to you, be very careful about the tools. Just always double check that with Keeper to really understand. Now, what do I recommend for you guys is do avoid sourcing products that are not selling well. Again, we've looked at some products there and I showed you the errors or the possible variations in sourcing tools for all the same product. Now, I generally say to my team is that if, say, for example, FBA Multi-Tool shows above 50 sales per month and the Keeper chart looks like that as well, then generally go with FBA Multi-Tool or your sourcing tool. But if the Keeper chart looks below 50 sales per month, then I'd probably do a bit more analysis and be a bit more careful. Now, why do I say this? Is because if a product has good profit and ROI, but it's not selling, well, it's just not a good product because you've got to sell it to make that product profit and ROI. So always be double checking the FBA Multi-Tool or the tool sales data with the Keeper chart to make sure you're obviously confirming that information is right. Now, what I'll do is I'll jump again onto my computer and show you another product with a great profit ROI and also a good sales per month. Let's jump on the computer and show you that now. So here we are. This is a product which I found previously, so I can get for $4.99 and great profit, $4.76 and also 95% ROI. Absolutely fantastic. And if we scroll down and we're going to have a look at the Keeper chart, what am I going to see? Well, I can see when looking at this sales rank that it is absolutely going up and down, up and down, up and down. Now, I said it before, you can use what's known as the drops method. This is saying 58, and if we look at seller AMP, this is going to go a lot higher, 558. Generally speaking, when you're getting below onto low sales ranks, you're probably not going to use the drops methods. It's in the higher sales ranks, call it 50,000 above, the drops method works. So this, I would be very happy to say 558, I think that's a good product. Why? And I can also see a lot of movement in that Keeper chart. I'm quite confident that is selling really, really well. So check that Keeper chart, it's going to really help you. Now, what I'll say is number 2 is after going through sourcing, the next stage is to be purchasing. And the second mistake that beginners can make at this stage is what's known as cancelled orders. Why? Because they've ordered too many items or they've done multiple orders. Now, what I will say is since not all suppliers allow large quantities of orders, they do put a limit when it comes to their customers purchasing, and as a result, if they place multiple orders or perhaps maybe order too many, they will find their orders cancelled. Now, what is the solution to this? Well, what we practice in our business, and especially when we're working with new suppliers, is that what we might do is we might buy, should we say, 10 products per day instead of doing big bulk orders in one sitting. Because some suppliers like, let's say, Beauty Bay, The Mankind, and even Boots, they easily detect that these people who are buying in bulk, they are possibly resellers based on the number of items they purchased, and what do? They cancel the orders. So what can you do? Well, quite simply, try and buy like 3, maybe 10 items today, and then do the same thing the next day, because what we're trying to do for these certain suppliers who are not reseller friendly is to stop them detecting us as resellers on Amazon Market, obviously using them as a supplier. Now, if you want to learn more about cancelled orders, what you can do about it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link to a video up there to 3 reasons why your supplier is cancelling your orders. It's going to help you out understanding that, so check that out. Now, for the third mistake, which falls under the ship and prep stage, one of the most common mistakes that beginners don't understand, and Amazon doesn't really tell you, it's quite an easy one to do, is beginners don't tell Amazon the correct shipping weight of the boxes, the big boxes that they ship in to the Amazon FBA warehouses through UPS. Now, the one reason why you might do this is if you reduce it down, you might get slightly cheaper shipping, which I've seen people do. But this is important to get correct. Why? Because sometimes Amazon loses your stock on check-in. Now, when you come to ask Amazon to check that stock, i.e. do a reconciliation of it, what they're going to do is they're going to add up the weights of all the individual items you said you shipped in that box, and then tally that with the total reported weight that you reported it being shipped at. Now, if that doesn't add up, why? Because obviously you've misreported it, then you get no money back. So to avoid this from happening in the future, make sure that you're always ensuring that you write the correct shipping weight when you create those shipments going from your house or your prep center to the Amazon FBA warehouses. Super, super important. Now, the fourth common mistake, which is about selling your products on the Amazon platform, is repricing. Every day, every hour, almost every minute, Amazon is changing their prices. So sellers have to keep their prices competitive to increase profits and obviously win that buy box. If you don't know, 85 to 90% of all sales happen to the seller, or happen for the seller who controls the buy box. And that is, generally speaking, fulfillment, but also price. Price is very important. Now, if you fail to reprice, what you might have is possibly no access to the buy box, but even as well, possibly negative profits after costs and low sales. Why? Because sales prices are always changing. And let's say, for example, a price has dropped already and your price is still high, and other sellers have dropped their prices. So you are not going to get on that buy box, and you are also not going to get any sales, and it means you're going to incur more storage fees because your product is not selling. Now, the solution for this is reprice your products. Now, Amazon has their own free repricing software, and what I will say is the price only goes down and never up. But if you are limited for budget and you still want to keep your prices competitive, it's a really good option. But if you want to, you can also look at third-party repricers, which are going to really support you. Now, if you want to learn more about repricing software, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link above to some of the software available that you can use for repricing to help you sell on Amazon. Now, the one thing which I see all the time is people spend so much time finding new products, finding products to buy, finding products to ship and sell in. What they don't do is they don't look at the products they've already sold and try buying more of them, i.e. replenishing them. Now, I'll begin defining what a replenishable item is, and this is for my business. Simply for me and my business, this is any item you can reorder, but for me and my business, what we classify as replenishable is that it's any ASIN that I have reordered within the last year. Meaning that if I buy a product in, say, January and then I reorder it again in November, I would classify that as a replenishable product. Now, it might not mean that it's available to reorder in February, March, April, May, all the way up to October, but I can reorder it in November. Why? It's just sometimes of the year it comes back on sale and it's a product I can replenish. Now, for you, if you want to save time sourcing products and make your life a bit easier while increasing your profits at the same time, then really try utilizing the replenishable system. Now, if you want to learn more about the replenishable system and increasing your profits and your margins, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link to a video I created up here with Mr. Luke Dugan, aka Mr. FBA UK, who earns £84,000 in 1 month just by selling replenishables on Amazon through the replenishable system, doing online arbitrage. Absolutely amazing. But going back to solving one of the issues in restocking, by using the replenishable system, begin tracking good selling items and record them, and then create a checklist that you can go back and check for those products to reorder again obviously that you've purchased before, that you know they work, so that they're not out of stock. And make sure that you're doing this all the time to get them restocked. It's just going to make your life so much easier. Now, if a product is out of stock today, then keep rechecking that product over the course of the next couple of months, weeks, even years going forward, because you never know when it's going to come back into stock. Now, getting started selling on Amazon can be quite overwhelming, and as a beginner there are so many stages and so many things to look for. And you know what? One of the biggest areas we really focus a lot of our time on as all new Amazon sellers, and even Amazon sellers like me, is sourcing, finding products. Now, what you can do is you can have leads, deals, products found for you by my team in FastTrackFBA. And quite simply, this is through FastTrackFBA Leads. This is a service I created whereby I've got a team of VAs finding deals 7 days a week that you can go onto our web platform, look at every single deal and pick and choose the ones that you want, saving you time in sourcing and allowing you to focus your energy on the rest of your business and avoiding those common mistakes. If you want to know more, have a look at the link down below. It's FastTrackFBA Leads. Check it out. I think you'll really like it. It's such a valuable addition and it's going to save you time and help you grow your business. Right, that leads me nicely on to chapter number 4. What do FastTrackFBA users say about the common mistakes beginners make? Well, look, we posted this question on our Facebook group and they came back with the following answers. Bad sourcing, not using Keeper, getting involved in price tanking, not knowing that VAT gets added onto Amazon fees, panicking instead of relying on the data, not knowing how to price, buying stuff that is still gated on. Others have also shared, I spent 2 years without a VA, some people mentioned, kicking myself for the lost potential of profit. And trust me, I love VAs as well. Great response. Also as well, no concept of fees on Amazon, not knowing their real numbers. Obviously Amazon fees again, ex-VAT, cost of shipping, cost of returns, cost of prep, cost of their own time. I know that one. Jumping in without making an effort to study Amazon's rules, which leads to them getting compliance and quickly getting shut down. Not doing any sort of business plan or researching on how to run a business that's productive and profitable, and not having a strategy and how to sell their products. Some really valuable information there. Now, what I'll say is thank you to those people who have responded. This is super useful and helpful to those beginners who are starting on Amazon. And if you are one of those people, what I'll do is I'll drop a link below if you are interested in joining our Facebook group, which is composed of other Amazon sellers who are helping other Amazon sellers go through different issues on selling on the Amazon marketplace. Now, what I will say is understanding the 5 common mistakes that beginners make, you might want to consider watching a playlist we created called Arbitrage for Beginners, which is a series of videos that will guide you through the Amazon selling process. And I'll drop a link to that around here. If you've liked this video, give me a big thumbs up. And hey, if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button down below. That's the subscribe button down below. But for me, Thomas Parkinson and FastTrackFBA, thank you very much.